All right, we're here with head football coach Marty Hoffmann. Coach, on the road this weekend at Iowa Wesleyan, but before that, let's recap the McMurray game.
Yeah, it was a game where I think we grew a lot as a team. Obviously not the result that we wanted, and we're certainly disappointed with that. And we're in a ball game there in the second half. Felt really good about Daniel's performance as his first collegiate football game, and I thought he grew a boatload during the course of the game, and a kid that broke our completion record that day. And Weimer's had a good day, and with 11 catches, he was close to breaking a record as well. And Sheridan had another good day with 10 catches. So again, we were able to kind of distribute the ball fairly efficiently, really do a lot with what they were giving us, and we're kind of trying to take advantage of that. And one thing, sort of offensively, we just got to continue to try to run the football, and we got to be more physical of a team. And from that standpoint, in a ball game 19-7 at half, and came out the third quarter and just we kind of laid an egg, and that's the thing I really emphasize to the team is you really got to be able to flip the switch coming out of the half, and you can't give up a 3-and-out a score, a 3-and-out score, a 3-and-out a score. I mean, the game's over at that point. So we just got to make sure that we play a full 60 minutes, and specifically the start of a game and then into the second half. And but again, like I said, I think our team we really grew a lot, and certainly excited to get on the road here.
Like you mentioned, on the road for the first time this year, first 3 games were at home. So how do you kind of manage that differently?
Yeah, I think it'll actually be a good thing for us. It's a chance to kind of get out of Morris. We're in Mount Pleasant, Iowa, and playing a team that's also 0-3. So feel like we're certainly starving for a win, as are they. And so it should be a great matchup, and certainly excited to get into the hotel and kind of get just around the guys. I always kind of like those road trips. The trip part of it really is a challenge, but once you're there at the hotel and just kind of being around the guys and talking football and just hanging, I really like that, and that's really where I think a lot of the bonding can kind of help too. So really looking forward to the trip.
And then this week for practice, how much do you look at last year's game versus tape from last week from their opponent?
Well, usually take a little bit. This year, with kind of their team, they've had a lot of turnover just within their roster, and so it's a pretty much a new team. They're doing a few things the same defensively. Offensively, they're a little bit unique, or just doing little things differently. And so, really tried to use this year's games more, and certainly eyeballed a few, certainly defensively, about how they tried to attack us last year, and we're certainly be ready for some of those adjustments, but really tried to stick with what they've been doing right now, this current team that they have.
And then looking at the Cougars, brought in a few offensive coaches this year, or assistant coaches, I should say. How have they grown from maybe practice to now 3 weeks in the season?
Yeah, I've been pretty happy. They've really certainly bring energy. Coach K has done a really good job with the offensive line. We're struggling through some injuries there, as you seem to every time with offensive linemen, and he's getting some younger guys ready, and some of those guys have really progressed. I think that's a credit to him and what he's doing with them. And Coach Volpe has done a nice job with the defensive backfield and just continuing to kind of grow those guys. And they had a rough week here last week. The defensive backfield did, and so far in practice, I've really been happy with what I've seen in terms of their response, and obviously coach is a major part of that as well. But again, just bringing energy, bringing ideas, new ideas. We're just as we kind of continue out to figure out what exactly we need to do to win. Those guys are certainly part of that.
And then looking ahead this weekend at Iowa Wesleyan, what are a few keys to the game?
Well, I think, from a defense standpoint, we got to stop the big plays. That was something that has plagued us here these first 3 games, and that's a pretty quick way to lose a ball game when you're giving up, almost 10 or 12 plays of big chunk yardage. So we got to eliminate those. Certainly, we got to be better against the run defensively and stop the run. This team will throw it around a little bit. So off of our game last week, we certainly got to be better in the coverage aspect of things. We got to be better up front in terms of pressure. I think if we can get this quarterbacks moving around a little bit, we can really cause some problems. And then from an offensive standpoint, we just got to make some plays and continue to push the ball in terms of in the run game part of things, is also down the field as well. And it should be a good game.
All right, we're here with senior linebacker Marcos Luna. Marcos, first of all, let's get your thoughts on the season so far.
Thus far, obviously, 0-3 is not the outcomes I wanted from the first 3 games. But I feel like throughout every single one of these games, our team has grown and shown a little bit, different strengths that we need to, bring them all together and really come out on this thing on top. And, this week's a good chance for us to really, kind of show our skill set and show what we've been working for.
And then being a senior, how have the upperclassmen helped the younger guys adjust to school, football team, culture?
Well, pretty much, from the get-go, we kind of just invited them in with open arms. We're excited to have a bunch of new guys come in, so the best way to, keep these guys around is going to be to give them a environment that's going to make them feel safe and make them feel, like they can flourish. So really this year, you see a lot of the defense helping a lot of the younger defensive guys out with, where they need to be, what they need to do. And then offensively, obviously, Justin's out for the year, so we have him, telling Danny Franchise, what he's got to do with the ball and, how to make plays. So hopefully we can pick up off that and, just keep building off of that kind of stuff.
What do you remember from last year's 13-7 win over Iowa Wesleyan at home?
I just remember it was a dogfight. It was our homecoming, and we went out there. We played with we played with all the heart we had, and we came out on top, and that's all that matters. So, in the end.
And then personally, how have you grown since freshman year?
Well, so I've been here since my sophomore year. So since sophomore year, I feel like my growth as a leader has really changed. So when I first came here, a lot of inward focus about what I want to do and how I want to be, and throughout the years. So last year, I really felt like I boosted my game up by becoming more of a vocal leader on defense and really doing the things I have to do to support my team and give us the best chance to win every week.
And then tell us a little bit about your major and your plans after Morris.
Right now, I'm currently a double major in psychology and political science, and I hope to attend the U of M law school, but any law school in the future in the next year or so.
And then what do you want to do with that law degree?
Definitely want to become a lawyer and help my community out that's been struggling. I'm Native American. I'm also Mexican, so to me that matters. And there's a lot of struggle going on right now, so I just want to be there to help.